We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe.
Hello, what's going on YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, and I'm bringing you guys a very late deck profile. This is going to be the deck that I took to the regional flight it was my very first regional flight, and I won that very easily, very uncontested. And it is true, the rumors are true. When it comes to side events, people sweat a lot harder in side events than they do the main event, which is weird to think about. It's like you basically play against like all meta and stuff like that. And people are like bringing like their super A game to these side events. And it's just baffling to me because I played more rogue decks in the main event than I did again in the side event. So I piloted Pendulum. So why did I choose to pilot Pendulum for the regional flight when I played World Chalice Orcus for day one? Well, as I was going throughout day one and just talking to people and just seeing a few tables and all that, I noticed that there was like little to no pendulums there, and that was very baffling to me. So it was weird because everybody was just so prepared against Striker and Orcus, and I'm just like, if you're prepared for Striker and Orcus, nobody's preparing for Pendulum, and you'll just lose the Pendulum matchup. And people that I talked to that did play against Pendulum lost against Pendulums, and they said the same thing. And I was like, man, I lost the Pendulum. One of my losses was the Pendulums. And so I took notes. And so I thought, okay, point taken, because the weekend before those events, no Pendulums were to be found at all. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to pick up the deck. So I picked up the deck on Saturday and then went to day two to do my very first regional flight on Sunday. And just completely won that, no contest. I went into game 3 one time. So yeah, Pendulum is a very strong deck. Even after the ban list, the deck doesn't change. It really doesn't. So yeah, Electromite resolves 100% of the time because of Servant, unless you're playing Impermanence. And even then, so it's still not an issue because we're still going to establish a board of a bunch of negates anyway. So I don't know, I'm liking this deck. I'm really liking Pendulums. I haven't played Pendulums in 2 years. So outside of like the Dino Mist and stuff like that, just randomly being played, I haven't played Pendulum since Electromite went to 1. So, and I didn't even know like no Guardian combos, no none of that that I was experienced on. So I'm literally playing Pendulums for like the first time in about a year. So yeah, so I literally winged everything. I winged the entire thing and it just worked. So I guess that either A, shows how powerful Pendulums are, or B, maybe that reveals how much I watch Truth Gaming. Who knows, man? So with that being said, enough of the talk. Let's go ahead and dive straight on into the profile. Alrighty guys, starting off with this deck profile, we of course have our 3 Servant of Endymions. I think because of this card, Electromite resolved 100% of the time, and it was really beneficial for that very reason. And of course we have our 2 targets, being our Jackal King and our Big Endymion. I would go for this a lot when it gets the control decks, which, spoiler alert, there was a lot of them. So yeah, keep in mind, I haven't played Pendulums in like 2 years. So I think that's the last time I actually profiled the Pendulum deck on my channel too. And it was still just a blowout. It literally was just no contest at all. Just my very first regional flight, I went in game 3 one time. Chronographs and Time Gazer. I never had to use Chronographs effect to scale this to protect the Servant. Because again, control decks. And I'll just go over my matchups afterwards. So this is self-explanatory. It gets a Pendulum monster on board without committing your normal summon. It's fine. We played 2 Abductors. I don't think I would change this. I mean, it's really good. It essentially acts as another Servant. I mean, except it searches anything you want. So that's pretty cool. Double Dark Worms. I want to see these so bad, but you don't really want to open it unless you have like a discard fodder like a Pendulum Call or something, but at that point you'd have to be playing 3 Pendulum Call, and you don't want to open multiples. Then we got the obligatory gate 0, obviously 4 set Dark Worm, so you can get more plus cards. Plus it's a level 7, which is really important. So yeah, that's something worth noting. Next we got 4 Magicians. We got our Harmonizing, which I think is our most important one. Pit I've resolved a few times. Caller I resolved a few times, and I think I resolved Purple Poison 1 time. I feel like you need another level 4 outside of Harmonizing, just in case you need to make a bit Sweller against the Orcus matchup. And I love these because they're both level 7s, which is really important. And this turns anything on the board into a dragon in case you don't get access to Dark Worm. So I still have the combo that way anyway. And no reason to explain why Harmonizing is really good, it just brings out a level 7. Next off, for a random one-of monsters, we got our Aether and our Persona Dragon for our Hieratic Seal targets that we want to summon. Deshrudo for our LP target, and it's a level 7, so that's important. And we got our Zephyr, the card that negated our opponent's Dark Ruler No Mores, which happened a couple times. So yeah, I like this card. I'll send it a lot with Electromite. Now sometimes I'll send Chronograph, but that's only in those really like niche plays. Again, I winged this entire deck, not having any real experience except like watching my friend play the deck, and that was basically it. Okay, so we of course have the Divine Strike to complement the Zephyr, the Yang Zing Pendulum monster. So that's it for the monsters and the packages and all that. So let's go and move on to the spells. So, ooh, where are you at? Alright, so starting things off, we have these 3 Dragon Shrines. If I can pull them out, there we go. Alright, 3 Dragon Shrines and our Foolish Burial. This basically was just more copies of Dark Worm. I don't think I ever sent Deshrudo to the graveyard. I never needed to, so that was nice. I think I sent something else before, just so I could reborn it. Forgot with what, but you know, it's whatever. Alright, so next we got that. I think that is our most important spell card in our deck, outside of, like, I know Spell Power Mastery is really strong, but honestly, getting access to Dark Worm, like, just enables your Guard Dragon combo entirely. So I think this is the second best card in the deck. I don't know. I may not know what I'm talking about. Some people may just get mad at me for saying that Shrine is the best, but I feel like you can have this, but if you don't have access to your Guard Dragon combo, you just missed out on, like, so many more negates. You missed out on your other free level 7, which gets your Absolute and your Vortex. You miss out on your Aggro Pain negate, you miss out on your Seal. So it's just like, I feel like that's so much more important. That's just my opinion, but what do I know, right? So anyway, 3 Mastery, you still want to see this card. Period, point blank. Next we got our other good spell cards. We got our Duelist Alliances, and our 2 Pendulum Calls. Okay, so I guess a lot of people may question why I'm playing 2 and 2, not 3 and 3. The problem with Duelist Alliance, or I mean, there is no problem with Duelist Alliance, but the main issue is you'll see Pen Call and Alliance together a lot when you play 3 and 3. Because I saw it happen to my friend a lot, and this wouldn't be an issue if you had a second search target in your deck for Duelist Alliance. And I don't know if that means we need to make a second target, or, you know, like, I don't know what it would be. Would it be Star Pendulum Graph just because it's a spell card so you can add spell counters? Who knows? I've really been debating on adding a second target for Alliance, because even at times I still saw these 2 cards. Or I would see Pendulum Call and then draw into an Alliance, and all I would end up doing is searching another Pen Call. I can't resolve it, but Pen Call is still incredibly important. It gets access to your Dragon Caller and your Harmonizing together. Next we got draw cards. We have our 2 Desires. Let's see. Oh, there we go. 2 Desires, and our Upstart Goblin. My rule in Desires is always you don't play 3 unless you're playing 60 cards. I feel like if you're playing less than 60 cards, you only play 2. Period, point blank. Otherwise, you'll see them too much and whatnot. And at a 60 card deck, you play 3 just so you can see it. So we played 2 Allures and 3 Into the Voids. Let me just go and overlay. There we go. Okay, so a lot of people are probably wondering why I'm only playing 2 Allures and not 3. And I think the biggest issue is it's like I want to see other monsters instead of just a bunch of spells. And the problem I've had with Allure, again, I played like 3 test hands, and this became like before I even did this regional flight, this became very apparent. You'll see Allure a lot and not see a dark monster in your hand, or it's a dark monster in hand that you really don't want to banish, like at all. And so you're in an awkward situation to where do I play Allure and then just bank off a draw and get dark? Or do I, or do I just Allure and not get the dark and then banish my Jackal King or my Big Endymion or my Chronograph Sorcerer? Because that's what happens a lot. I've had to banish Dark Worm once. And I don't know, Allure Darkness is just a very awkward card. Because like all of your darks are very important. Except for like Gate 0, but even then so Gate 0 still has its uses because 1, it's a low scale, 2, it's a level 7. So I don't know how I feel about Allure, but I feel like I still needed to play it. It can fix hands, it did like once, but sometimes it can just lead you, like I've allured and drawn into Divine Strike, which is just, I don't know, you can just draw, just trying to unbrick your awkward hand, you can just draw more awkward sometimes. So I don't know how I feel about Allure Darkness. So, especially if you're forced to banish your key piece. So that's it for the main deck. Extra deck, we of course have to play Electromite. I think this is by far the best card in your extra deck. I wish it was at multiple copies. Next we played LP and Agripane. Yes, Agripane is currently banned, but we can still play the deck the exact same way without Agripane. I would just replace Agripane with either Pisty or Tornado Dragon. One of those 2 cards. The deck literally got unhindered by Agripane's hit. And of course we gotta play Seal and our Triple Burst to even start the Guard Dragon combo in the first place. Alright. Some more links, we got Cyframe Lambda. This is for our follow-up plays. I've made this a lot, so I'm glad I've actually decided to play a second generic link 2 with 2 downward pointing arrows. Because that happens a lot. If your opponent, if you don't even make that great of a board and they break it, you need to be able to make something with downward pointing arrows so you can have a bigger Pendulum summon at the end of the day. I don't think we made Nightmare Phoenix once at all. So that's alright. So you just Skull Dread, we need it because of the Guard Dragon combo to make Absolute and Hot Red. Borlo Dragon, I actually made it and used it, so that was pretty good, nice. We made Appaloosa once before we Pendulum summoned, so that was really nice. And yeah, having the extra negates is really good. So yeah, that's it for all the links. Now on to the other non-links. We got our Artist Vortex Dragon. Of course, we're playing Pendulum, so we have to play it. We played Hot Red, of course, with Agripane banned. This is no longer going to be in the extra deck because you have no way to turbo it out. So, Dawn Dragster, this will basically be the new Hot Red. Absolute, again, level 7s are important for doing your Guard Dragon combos because you want to just overlay a level 7 into Shrudo into this and link that in the Triple Burst into a Saryuja summoning Vortex, so then you can go Agripane on the other side and then summon your Hot Red. And Abyss Dweller, I didn't make it at all. There was no, like, I played against Sidras, but it wasn't even an issue. I just had so many negates on the board to where I didn't even need it. So, alright, this is it for the extra deck and side deck. Let's see. So we played 2 Lancias, 2 Paker Tops. We played 2 Evenly Matches, 2 Lava Golems. So yeah, this is all these cards are pretty good against combo decks. We played 2 Secret Villages just in case we played against like Striker or some other heavy spell deck, like let's say like Necros or like some road decks. A lot of road decks play a lot of spell cards. Or if we played against Pendulums, if we played against a mirror match, it was pretty good as well. 2 Dark Ruler No Mores, and the only card I cited 3 of, which came up the most, which was Denko's. This won me my match 3 and my match 4. Yeah, so I'm glad that this is the card I decided to play 3 of. Everything else is a 2 of. Again, it's Pendulums. You're gonna draw into a lot of these because you play so many draw cards, but at the same time, the benefit of having all those draw cards is that you have a lot of free side outs or easy side outs. You don't. If I know I'm going second, I'll generally side out the Zephyr Nui and stuff like that. So, and some of the draw cards, I'll sign out like Desires and stuff because Desires really kind of messes me up a lot inside these in. So Denko was like the MVP of the entire side deck. Pancor Tops is also pretty cool. I didn't get to Secret Village once. Okay, so what were my matchups? So round 1, I played against this. This is the only deck I actually went into game 3 against too. This is some Fluffle Orcust OTK deck. Like, he got me game 1 because he made me go first, and I set up a board without Zephyr Nui, and he Dark Ruler No Moored and broke the board. And games 2 and 3, I kind of just blew him out. So round 2, I played against Crusadia, also made me go first. Big mistake, you know, when you're playing against a deck like Pendulums. And yeah, then I just 2-0'd him. Match 3, again, we played against the Cyber Orcust. I blew him out game 1. Like, he didn't have that great of a hand, but he did have the overflow. But all I basically needed to do was just Pendulum Summon and just enter battle phase, and then make the rest of my combo at main phase 2. And game 2, he sides a bunch and he sets like 3 to 4 cards with a core pass, and he overflowed and banished his own card to pop one of his own sets, and he had an artifact Scythe. And so I just decided to deviate and search out all my big Pendulum monsters and do a massive Pendulum Summon and just went in for the kill. And that was that. I just killed him. I put a big Endymion Jackal King. I searched out Dragon Caller with a Pendulum Call. And what else did I get? I grabbed like Purple Poison so I could scale it. And I had like one other, oh yeah, it was Dark Worm because it was like 1800. And I just went battle phase because all he had was a core on the board. Oh no, and I had Denko in hand. So I used a Resolve Dark Worm and search, and then normal summoned the Denko. So I put up Big Endymion, Jackal King, and Dragon Caller, and it was game. So that's how that worked. And then round 4 was against Sky Strikers. Again, not really too much explanation needed as to why Pendulum wins against Striker. But I did get Denko game 2, so it was over. So overall, I like Pendulums. Now, would I change anything? Honestly, I think I would try to find space for a Oath Dragon Magician because I did find myself missing that a couple times. So I'll try and find space for it. Again, 2 extra decks got freed up, so Hot Red and Aggro Painter out. And I think Tornado Dragon and Pitch Sea may just make its way in, and the main deck itself just doesn't change. So yeah. Anyway, that's the deck profile, guys.
Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed that profile. Be sure to leave your thoughts and down in the comments below. Leave a like if you really like the profile. Let me know if there's something that you would have played or you would have teched into your main or side deck or whatever that I didn't play. You know, maybe I can learn a thing or two because maybe I do plan on playing some more Pendulums for some more regionals, even though I already have my invite and all that good stuff. You know, as you can see, the Appaloosa mat that I displayed the profile on, so I clearly did, you know, win that regional flight. So, yeah.
So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.